Hey everybody, it's Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing our episodes and testing 10mm self-defense ammunition out of our 16-inch carbine and our 4-inch pistol. Should be a good time. Let's get to shooting. Many of you who have been following the channel know that I've been looking at using the folding pistol carbine and the pistol from Smith & Wesson in 10mm as sort of a get-home type package where you have both a sidearm and a rifle that are chambered in the same caliber, use interchangeable magazines, interchangeable ammo, trying to figure out what would be the right ammunition for that. So we've been doing some gel testing and ballistic testing to figure that out. Today we're going to be testing the Remington Saber bonded jacketed hollow point. And everyone knows Remington Saber bullets are really good bullets. They're bonded jacketed hollow points in 40 and 357 SIG and 9mm are outstanding performers. So today we're going to put it to the test in our dual configuration. We'll see what it does out of a 4-inch pistol. Now, this is the carry comp model, so it's really a 3.5-inch model. But if you go and check the review that I did where I compared the 4-inch to the carry comp version, they got pretty much the same velocities. It was rather shocking. So consider this the 4-inch pistol. Then we have the 16-inch carbine. We're going to pick up some velocity, maybe. So we're going to see how much, see if these bonded jacketed hollow point stays together when it picks up velocity. My guess is oftentimes many of these main line ammunition manufacturers for 10mm, they sort of load them on the light end. This is 180 grain and it's supposed to be doing 1175, 1160, and I'm sure that's out of a 5-inch modeled gun, probably the Glock 20. So I think that that's going to be interesting to see what we get out of both the 4-inch, which is a lot shorter than that, and out of the 16-inch barrel, which is longer than that. See if we get any velocity pickup, see how it performs in gel. Do we get sufficient expansion and penetration? What does it look like in terms of the kinetic energy that we're getting out of these rounds? All right, that's kind of what we have on tap. We do have a ballistic gel set up, much like Gun Sam's, where I do two inches of gel. In front of that, I put 2 layers of t-shirt, 2 layers of denim, then that 2 inches of gel, then a 1/4 inch of medium density fiberboard, sort of like a rib simulation, but it's really a material that has similar density to water density to bone and similar hardness of bone. But whether or not it's a bone simulation or rib simulation, I don't know. But it's a barrier in there, and that often gives a good look and see what that hollow point is doing. And then we have a whole bunch more of clear ballistic gel after that. We should be able to capture these bullets, see what they're doing, see how they're performing. For those of you who aren't aware, this is the Smith & Wesson folding pistol caliber carbine. I've actually, added some different things on it. We've got some M-Carbo attachments that allow it to break down, set up, and charge a little bit better. I also have a rail mount back here to the back. I think those are good things that help us shoot just a little bit better. All right, let's go down. Let's get shooting. Okay, we have the Remington Saber 180 grain out of our 4-inch pistol. The video, here we go. A little bit low, 1080. Let's go down, see if it's acceptable. Okay, so it came in here going 1080 feet per second, squarely in the camp of hot 40 Smith & Wesson rounds. Goes in for our first couple inches of gel through the medium density fiberboard. Looks like we caught it just on the bottom. So not a huge mark and not a huge hole either. And then it did not a bad job going in through the gel. It looks like we got decent expansion, so it didn't get caught up in the other stuff. Let me dig that out, and as I'm digging it out, maybe I will give you another look at what this looks like. I got a flashlight out here. We're losing light, so hopefully that gives a little bit better view of that, but let me turn that block around for y'all. So a couple of different looks at it. Not bad. We got some of those fluting and other things like that in it, but all right, I'll dig that out now. Taking a look at this. We got pretty decent expansion out to 0.7273. That's pretty wide expansion. You know, we started at 0.4 and we went all the way out to 0.7. We got pretty good peel back with that, even though, again, shorter barrel than probably was expected and not the velocities that should have expected, but did a pretty good job altogether. Again, got out to about the 13.5 inch mark, so not over penetration. You can worry about that with 10 millimeter. Decent performing round, not the energy. And you know where you can mostly see that is right here on this. Other 10 millimeter rounds are getting much bigger holes in the medium density fiberboard. In fact, this is the hole. That's the 10 millimeter. This was from a 380 round. So go figure. Okay, now we have the FPC, our 16-inch carbine. We'll see how it does. All right, let's go down, see what the results are. Oh, and I didn't pick it up on the chronograph, so we'll have to catch that later. Okay, so, you know, definitely we were getting a lot more energy in that. Things that dictate to that, to me, look what happened. This is where we hit and went through. This is how it expanded out and just, you know, shattered that board. Got a lot better kind of wound track in here. We didn't get as much penetration out of it because, again, I think we pushed the blocks back just a little bit. Let me reline this up so we get the right measurement. There we go. And we got out to about 10 inches. Well, we were out past, we were out to a foot, and then we got some bounce back to a little over. The bullet landed and stayed put at about 10.5 inches. So not bad. Yeah, you'd want more, but look, that thing is gonna wreck it again. That's the problem. Sometimes when these bullets expand too much, they just don't go very far. But just take a look at that wound track in there. Again, clear ballistic gel does not over exaggerate it. All it basically shows is what it's cutting. It doesn't show the temporary cavity. And so that was pretty nasty and wide in there. Let me dig this out and we'll see how wide that got to be. But that thing is smushed in there pretty good. So great penetration. Do y'all remember those videos? Would you look at it? Would you just look at it?
Oh, would you look at that?
Put that
just
on.
Look at that.
I can't pull it out either. I'd have to.
So again, in the pistol, we got 0.7355, so 0.74. With that rifle, look how much more it was pushed back. There's only 0.34 left of it, but it's out here, clear out. Yeah. 0.455, so it's interesting. It looks much wider, but I guess it must be the same width in the end. But look at the difference in those. That's kind of crazy. Look how much further it's pushed back. It held together. That's great. So some rounds I'm seeing that maybe not are holding together when you put them out of that rifle, but this Golden Saber did a nice job. I wish it would have gotten past that 12 inches with that. Okay, let's get some velocity readings. We have the 4-inch carry comp version up first. We'll see what we get with our chronograph Garmin 0C1 that's out. And just as a reminder, I've replaced the front and rear sights with optics ready ones. I've got the Holosun 407C on there, and I do have the 10% extra power mag springs in it. I think I said that twice. Well, that was kind of dumb of me. I'm not sure. I captured 3 shots. I just kept forgetting. I've got to probably start reading these off because I can't seem to remember that I'm actually recording instead of actually shooting the steel target just for fun. The min was 1075, the max was 1085, the average was 1079. Of our 3-shot group, again, not much, but our average kinetic energy was 465. Now that's kind of plus P 40. I've seen some 40 that's 350 kinetic energy. So this is definitely more than some 40 Smith & Wesson, but you know, I would expect even weak loaded jacketed hollow points 550 in 10 millimeter, and I've seen it close to, out of this pistol, well, out of its, you know, relative pistol, get 700 energy foot-pounds out of it. So not great. We're just going to shoot a couple of shots out of the FPC, and yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. And I think that's it. I only think I had 4 shots. All right, well, we got 4 in there. We're getting a nice little pickup. This is the first time I'm seeing what velocities we're getting out of this gun. For that, we got a min of 1252, an average of 1260, come on eyes, 1269, a max of 1280, and the average kinetic energy of 644. I would have hoped to have gotten that out of the pistol, but it's getting it out of the rifle. Okay, well, there you go. That's what you're gonna get out of this. Okay, well, I forgot to record on this camera, so we're just going to show me shooting and starting to shoot that 5-shot group with just the glasses. All right, now let's go down range, check it out. So, I know I shot 5 shots. I think there's a hole in here someplace. I'm not really seeing it on this target, but I know I shot 5 shots, and I know one of them went in there because I remember thinking, oh, I probably got a hole. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's off of this hole just a little bit up above it. Yep. So not bad. Again, at 10 yards, little group like that, that's not bad. Okay, well, we got 4 shots. That's all I have left, and we're gonna shoot it out of the carbine. So here we go. Up, we gotta load it up, then we go. All right, let's go down, see what we got. And of course, when you have a carbine, you can tighten things up just a little bit. Again, we're only at 10 yards, but the ammunition's doing a great job. Nothing wrong with the ammunition, as suspected. We had a good time out here with the Smith & Wesson FPC and the Smith & Wesson 4-inch carry comp version in 10 millimeter. We tested our Remington Golden Saber 180 grain bonded jacketed hollow point bullet, and it performed okay. It's about what I expected the mainstream 10 millimeter ammunition to perform like. It's loaded fairly weak, which is shocking to me because I think especially in 9 millimeter, the plus P version for the Golden Saber stuff is loaded pretty nicely, but it's a little bit underwhelming in the 10 millimeter version. Hey, look, it expands the area out very nicely, and look, based on a lot of autopsies and other stuff that I have read and other medical reports, when you're shooting a round that's going less than 2,000 feet per second, it really just depends on the size and the diameter of the hole that you're putting in someone. This puts a bigger hole in someone. I would like that bigger hole to go deeper, but you know, it was getting out in the pistol version out to at least 12 inches. In the rifle version, it didn't, but you know, you saw it doing a lot more damage in those first 10 inches. I mean, a lot of damage in those first 10 inches. So putting a hurt on them. I think this is probably not the round that I'm going to choose. If I was going to choose something that was going slow and expanding, I would choose something that went slow and expanded further. But I want to hear what you guys think about the Remington Golden Saber bullet in 10 millimeter. Tell me what you all think. Hope everyone has a great week, and let's get to shooting. From pistols to rifles. Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we got another great episode. We're continuing our testing with 10 millimeter and hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar. Okay, well we are at 10 yards, which is where I like to shoot the 10 millimeter tests. We just have some paper down range. We just want to see how we can shoot accuracy. How is this ammunition printing relative to the other ammunition in the test series that we're doing? Does it go higher into the left, lower to the right, all of those things? And are the bullets tumbling? That's something you can determine. Are you keyholing when you get to shoot onto paper? So here we go. We'll see how I do. And last time I did this test, it was so cold out, I couldn't feel my hands. I literally couldn't, like, I could press in, but like I couldn't feel touching the gun. It's about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than it was last time I shot. Let's see how we do here.
Ammunition test, some ballistic gel in sight. Choosing the best rounds, we'll find out what's right. Living for freedom, defending